Well, here we are, back to ideas to actions. For those of you catching video too, welcome. I'm glad you're here. That's a very, very big step for everybody, myself included. So you have decided to take the next step and wanted to listen to things that help me battle ADHD, anxiety, whatever we want to label the issues we have, whether it's just to be a lot of lack of commitment or dedication. Discipline is going to be a big one that we'll discuss throughout this entire series. But ultimately, stop making it a handicap. That's, if nothing else, what you have is not a handicap. You do have to change the way you do things, but ultimately, what this is going to be is how I prompted ChatGPT, who, by the way, is not paying me. They're not giving me free. I pay like everyone else, or many other people. But when you use it like I do, you have a tendency to run out of prompts if you don't pay for it. So how I turned AI into being my personal life manager. Yes, this channel and this whole system and series and all these videos is all about how one night I was typing like a lunatic on ChatGPT and avoiding actual responsibilities. This is going to be a behind the scenes episode of how I got here, how he, whatever chat or she, whatever ChatGPT wants to be referred to, became my own personal accountability buddy, a therapist, a productivity coach, life manager, and yes, I will admit it a couple times, if not more than a couple, an emotional support chatbot. Should try it sometime. But this first part is going to be in the beginning. I started, one night I just had a lot of great things in my mind, and then mild panic and a Google search. I had too many ideas going on, too many unfinished projects. I was juggling my youth coaching, my IT day job. I had 4 side hustles trying to go about on my own. I've got the youth sports facility. And then just this constant gut creeping suspicion that I was slowly being swallowed up by tasks, outlines, to-do lists, and I wasn't getting, I was missing a sense of satisfaction or true accomplishment. So strangely enough, in came the whole ChatGPT world, and it all started with one prompt, and I kid you not. Let me modify this. Right here you'll see, I need help getting my life together. And it really, that's where it started. And you can see here where it'll start walking you through. It's not going to be judgmental. It's going to be very calm. It's not going to, yell at you. You can actually set it up where it'll criticize you if you want. But really, that was the moment that we officially entered. When I say we, I mean me and my buddy here. How did we get here era? But again, ChatGPT will always be calm. It'll always be supportive. It'll never judge you. So you can tell it ultimately what you want. It will gain some political correctness on you. So you can count on that occurring. But that being said, he asked me questions, suggested a structure. The next thing I knew, I was dumping everything into this catch-all. I was unloading. I was asking things, can you be my project manager, my accountability partner, life assistant, and watch what happens is, can you be my project manager? See, now that we're live, I'm afraid I'm going to type, look stupid, more so than I already do. And it'll sit here, yes, from here on, I'll act as your life project manager. My roles keep everything organized and visible across work, business, and life. Guide you through clear, manageable steps. And I'm not, when I'm saying I'm not kidding as to how effective this really can be, dump into it. Let it go. Oh man, I want to write a book. I want to write an app. I want to create a website. I want to start a business. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to just let it go. And it's going to say yes every single time. I mean, that's the way it works. So, the turning point for me is things escalated. I asked it, help me organize all areas. Actually, instead of you having to watch me type it, I will copy and paste it. So here we go. Copy and paste. Now, this response might be different than my original. So my original is ChatGPT started with a straight-up life management system. Categories, calendars, content plans, habit loops. I mean, I almost blacked out somewhere around weekly review and woke up. There's this structure, and it's like, oh my God, do we really want to go in here? And even then it became somewhat overwhelming because, again, it was relying a lot on my information and what I wanted. And half of our problem is when somebody says, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. That's it. I didn't know. I all these projects, which one was the most important to me? So ultimately, we started this whole all things Trevor project, and I'll expand it just a little bit here. You can see all these projects over here, and again, you can have it run your life. And I went all in on this. I'm 98% into ChatGPT. You tell me what I need to do because I'm all over the place. And ChatGPT even came up with the name. It's All Things Trevor. So ultimately, we had to discuss what we were going to call this. And ideas to actions seemed like appropriate. Battling the ADHD and the anxieties that I had to just suck it up. And even once again, when I said I'm having anxiety, and they would say, do it. I'm going to copy a post here. And again, this is coming from the summary of prompts that got me to this level. It's helped me turn my scattered life into a structured system I can actually follow. These were prompts that I had put in. I'm almost embarrassed to say, did I really type all that? Look at this. Phase 1, set the foundation. Goal, build visibility and control access. All right. And it's going to walk you through this stuff. Just listen to it, pick and choose. If you want to backtrack, if you want to recall, one of my particular favorites, and because this is a temporary chat, it doesn't refer to it as much, but from now on, use non-technical language in a conversational style. All right, so I hate it when they add the fluff. There's a lot of, I don't want to be judgmental here, sales techniques that ChatGPT likes to implement into their responses. But if you are one of the people who have never used ChatGPT, try it. Stop being afraid of it. It's not going anywhere. In fact, it's going to take over a lot of our lives. So you might want to get in the habit of being familiar with how it works. Stop avoiding it. Change. I don't care how it's always been done for you before. If you want to stay with the modern trends. But ultimately, from here on out, I'll keep it simple, clear, and easy. So it'll say, all right, I liked what you had to say. After I had told it to be my life coach, manager, therapist, digital wife, I actually said, hold me accountable every morning with a daily check-in routine. So when I get on in the morning, I do my normal, life management, whether it be just listen to motivational podcasts or just subtle music. I check into ChatGPT and I'll say, where are we today? And you can see it'll say what matters to you. Now, because again, this is temporary chat and not tied into my daily programming and memory that I've implemented, which is always very specific, a little bit more so than this. I'll tell it, how do I feel in the morning? What do I want to accomplish today? What do you think? And when it's all said and done, ChatGPT will actually say, nope, we're not doing that. You need to get your shit together here because you can't get that done before, we do this. And now it doesn't talk quite that way, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Ultimately, and following that, I said, my people think I should start a channel. So we start a channel, or I send in the prompt. How do I start a channel? Learning new things for a lot of people is overwhelming. I mean, the technical world is it's vast. I'm a systems administrator by day, and I do great things with networks, but apps and AI and all the tools out there, they grow faster than we do as professionals, and it's holy cow. The cool thing about it is you can type in here, teach me how to use make.com, and for the most part it'll do pretty good. Again, make doesn't pay me. I do use it, but I also use N8N, which those are two agent platforms. We'll get into that another day. So help me start. It seems to be tied up on something now, but we'll just kind of move forward. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelmed, or as your threads get long, it'll pause, take a little bit longer. So let's repost that. Just see if it speeds things up any. All right, so from there I went to give me a life blueprint that works for someone with ADHD, anxiety, and too many tasks or processes in place. Again, because I started a channel, chaos to completion. This will tell you good processes or thought. It'll give you slogans or catchphrases or whatever you want to do. And again, you don't have to follow these verbatim. There was one point I typed in a prompt in there saying, walk me through building an app. Now this was actually when ChatGPT was brand new and all these other AI app creation softwares weren't out there yet. So at the time, it really was still too overwhelming for someone like me that I wasn't into app development. Like I said, I'm a network engineer kind of person. Now I can actually say I'm kind of a specialist with automation to certain degrees, but ChatGPT again will help you organize your life, and this is again why I'm here. So never stopped, literally stopped watching the results. So every day I'll give it a result of what I put in, and it'll give me side notes. It'll remind me. It'll say go drink some water. If it, it'll. I part of my prompts is said throughout my day if we're working extensively. I didn't know where it was going to take me. But ultimately, I did build a productivity system. So we are, counting on it as progress as far as what we will be doing from here. So what this means for you is, and the point of this all is, I don't need to have everything figured out. You don't have to have everything figured out. Sometimes you just need some sort of idea thrown at you that you, what I call the snowflake effect. And when I'm writing a paper or writing a book, you come up with that core part of the snowflake, and then it branches out. Well, each branch is a subject. Follow follow that branch and add to it, and it will take you in so many directions. And if you just, once again, tackle one small thing at a time, call it a win, and then call it a day. You don't have to conquer 100 things in a day. Please understand that is, as ADHDers and people that suffer from the lack of completion on projects, we're after the endorphins that we get from completion are very short-lived. And they're hard to achieve the more you go into a task. So pick something super small, revel in it, accept it, win it. But you got to just start. Do it. Don't, if you're feeling anxiety when you're starting, I don't care. Sit down, tackle it, and make it super simple. Make it as simple as creating a ChatGPT account, or make it as simple as creating, or, buying a domain name for your project, or, sign up for one of the education platforms because you want to study a course, or just write an outline, of the paper you have to write. I don't care what it is in life you are doing it. The problems aren't going to go away, and they are only going to snowball on you if you continuously put them off. So the feel-good sensation you will have as you conquer these tasks will be much better if you do a bunch of small ones. Start off with one, and then tomorrow we'll do two. But conquer one small one at a time, in little intervals, and there you have it. If you struggle to finish when you start a project, or your brain moves too fast, your to-do lists, aren't keeping you on task, you gotta tackle it. But again, this is what worked for me. So, how I end up with a literal robot life manager, whether it was the best decision I've made or not, I feel it is. Almost like my muse, it organizes my life in the way I want it to. So, if you like where this series is headed, try it out. Just make an account and talk to it. If you already do this regularly, more power to you. Again, some people have, some people haven't. I showed some very, very entry-level prompts here, and I will get into far more, advanced, or even where ChatGPT will use and create a prompt that I throw into Coursera or throw into other programs. Again, to help manage my life as an IT, but also help manage my personal businesses. So it's how I organize everything, from groceries to business launches. It's simple, it's powerful, and it really could just save your sanity. So on the next one, we're going to dive into how I use ChatGPT to build my personal content center, or personal command center, I think is what we came up with. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and please leave a comment of aspects that you might battle and would like to see me covered. So again, thank you as we conquer these ideas into actions.